interview isipotokea mumepanga blame t-shirt
kabisa.
Yeah.
Hiyo ni t-shirt ya nini umevaa?
Ni mazee sikuwa na nguo safi mazee, so the only thing ilikuwa inaweza valika hapo ni hii duster.
Why is it even an option?
I know man, Akimta nisamee, makosa ni yangu. See what I did there. Full names: Abel Mutua Musyoka, co-founder, creative lead, Philip Productions Limited. Anything audiovisual that needs to be conceptualized, I am your guy. So for Untying Kantai, I was the head writer, and I also scripted 5 episodes. You know, funny enough, man, because you've been conducting these interviews the whole day today, that was the one question I was dreading. Because to be really honest, I don't know. I can't remember how we stumbled upon a concept that involves maduya. I swear I have no clue. But sijuka Philip ameshapiga. Anakumbuka mali tulitoa hii concept.
Oh my god, this is where we pose the camera, cause
I know, these are just those weird concepts you come up with mkiwa tu mumekunywa soda zenu huko. But you really can't remember the genesis. Let me see. Wacha nione kama naweza. How did this thing come about? I know we wanted to do something independently. Around 2020, I think we were smack in the middle of COVID. Philip and I were looking for concepts that we could do independently because we were trying to change the business model. Initially, we were heavily dependent on... we were a business to business. So we wanted to go the business to consumer way. And we were toying around with some concepts. But we decided that this particular concept was a bit too heavy to produce ourselves. Then we got a call from from Showmax. At the time, Showmax were looking... Actually, this is 1 year later. Sometime in 2021. Showmax were looking for a project to commission. And we remembered, nice. We came up with this show because at the time, the hot topics everywhere was something to do with either religion or politics. Hiyo time before COVID ndio ilikuwa time ya, I don't know whether I'm allowed to mention, but hiyo time makiki za kina Natasha zilikuwa zimeshika. Kidogo Owora ametuonyesha mambo huko, watu wanaosha street na detergent. So kulikuwa na prophecies gani, kulikuwa na a lot of religious stuff happening, and I think that's what made us think about the concept. Yes, that was around 2020 going on to 2021. So 2021 Showmax come calling. Wakatuambia niaje, do you guys have a concept? Tukamwambia yeah, of course. We are always loaded anytime, anywhere. So we decided, you know what, this is it. So we started working on this show in 2021. Now, here's the thing, I don't know if anyone has mentioned. Initially, the title of this show was High Priest. You come to mention? Good. Yes, so we started working on High Priest in 2021. We storylined for the first season, 13 episodes. We did the character breakdowns, you know, the works. And we were in and out of pitches with Showmax, man. I think we did like 5, 6, 7 pitches with those guys. Every time we pitch, they're like, okay, we like the concept. You'll hear from us. We kula mbao huko for like months. They come back again. Same story. We pitch until I think 2023. Yes, 2023. Now that's when we started seeing some sort of light at the end of the tunnel. Yeah, so they came back sometime in Feb, if I'm not wrong. Wakatuambia, yo, man, I know we've been dilly-dallying for the longest. The time is now. So, pitch again. For I think the 8th time. We pitched, there were a few amendments hapa na pale nini, and it was all systems go. Wakatuambia niaje, we want this show on air by June, July. That time we think in February. Yeah. June, July, we want the show on air. pap, na tukaingia kazi. So the first order of business was now to storyline vizuri, because during the pitching process we didn't have actual episodes, tulikuwa tu na synopsis of the episodes. So now we had to go down and do proper scripts for all the 13 episodes. So here at Philip we have something called the Philip Think Tank. So watu ufikiria mimi ndio uandika hizi vitu peke yangu, hapana. There's a whole team behind it. In fact, let me shout them up. Kenji Gadesha, who also doubled up as one of the directors. The insanely talented Masi Mutesia, who also doubled up as one of the main characters, Ruby. There is myself, Philip Karanja, who also was the director, one of the directors. Then there's a chick we borrowed from Hula Baloo, one of our projects. You know him very well. We know her very well, anaitwa Shigwan. Shigwan Shiko was part of the storylining. My good old friend from Tidy High, Dennis Mugo, was part of the team, OJ. In fact, he was to be one of the directors, but I think he got a gig somewhere else. Who am I leaving? Kenji, Shigwan, Abel, Philip, Masi Mutesia. Smalls was in the brainstorming. Yes, and Smalls. Nice. So depending on the concept that I'm working on, I usually like immersing myself. And this is a story I've told before. When we were writing for The Real Househelps of Kawangware in 2014, nilikuwa nakaa na househelps. Now, people walikuwa naiona ikiwa very weird, but that thing really helped. Because there are dynamics that you can never get if you're not, involved, if you're not intertwined with those people. So whenever I get a chance to do that, I do it. For Untying Kantai, we had to sit down with those guys, man. Like, proper drug dealers, proper pedies. And they're not just pedies for any drug, for Maduya. In case guys don't know, Maduyas actually exist. It's a drug that's out there, it exists. So we had to sit down with those guys just to get, their perspective and whatnot. It was amazing, man. People have a way of thinking. Like, if you look at that, I remember there's one of them, I'm trying to remember the name, nimesahau. Man, jamaa ukimuona unachukua kona unaenda hivi. Alikuwa na kaskeri. I think alikuwa na kisu kwa mfuko hiyo siku for some reason. Like, he's proper gangster. But jamaa alikuwa na float kaga sia. Like, in the room, he was the richest. Na ni boy wa mtaa, deadly, man. So that's when I got to witness the power of Maduya firsthand. Nikajua hii drugs si jokes. So I usually like immersing myself ndio niget hiyo perspective vizuri kabisa. So that's usually my number one, because the very first thing I do before anything else is research. And now that's where the immersion comes in. Yeah. So after the research, I gather all the materials that I need to gather from the characters, their environment and everything. Now, with all that information, I start working on the entertainment aspect. You have your facts here, but most of the time, 90% of the time, facts are boring. So how do you make facts interesting? You have to inject some sense of entertainment into your facts. So now that's where my creativity comes in. How do I package this Maduya business into something entertaining? And most of the time, a good story is entertaining. So you just intertwine your facts into a good story and you'll have a winning combination. Funny enough, there wasn't a process. So what happened, we did the storylining for the entire 13 episodes. Out of the 13 episodes, everyone had an episode that they felt they were more attached to. So we gave people the liberty to choose which episodes do you want. I think Masi picked episode 2 and 3. I did 1 and 4. Kenji did 5 and 6. I did 7. Masi 8. Kenji 9. I did 10. Kenji 11. Masi 12. I did 13. Yeah, there was a process there. Guys just felt like, okay, I think I want to handle this. Okay, go ahead and handle it. Okay. Yeah, but usually for stories that I'm script editing, which might be selfish at times, I usually like setting the pace. So all the episode 1s are mine. Okay. All of them. In all the shows that we've done, I usually take all the episode 1s because I feel like I set the pace. Now people know, they have a benchmark. Yeah, it's either you go above what I've done, but you can't be lower than me. Now that's where my second role comes in, as the script editor. Everyone has their very unique way of writing, very unique way. And for me, the more the merrier. I have no problem with that. Kenji is very systematic in the way he writes. I am very dramatic. I can be a bit vulgar at times. Everyone has their own way of writing, but in all the differences, there has to be a seamless thing going on there. So that's my job, to make sure that even as you're experiencing all our differences, there's still a factor that's constant. And most of the time, it's in the dialogue. Yeah, it's in the way I write, because these people are from a certain hood. People from a certain region have almost similar characters in the way they speak, for instance. That's why when you're put in a room in Ukraine and Ugandans walk in, you will know those are Ugandans. It's in the dialogue, it's in the speech. So they might have very different characters, very different mannerisms, but when they open their mouths, there's some similarities there. So that's where I draw that seamless thing that I'm talking about. And actually, apart from editing the dialogue, I don't like touching anything else. I usually like when people take control, when a writer takes control of how the things unfold. There's just a beauty there, as opposed to me dictating everything for the 13 episodes. It will be monotonous. Same way, when the scripts now get on set, the way the actors deliver cannot be the same. You cannot have Kantai and X-Ray acting in the same manner. It's not realistic. Yeah, just leave them be themselves. But the director is there to make sure that the overall net of the show is, yani, it's in sync kabisa. Hakuna kitu iko overly off. Sisi wote ni wa Kenya ndani ya show. Lazima tu maintain hiyo Kenya, even in all our differences. So the same thing a director does on set is what I do with the scripts. Yeah. So a human being is driven by many things, but you can summarize them into two. A human being has a need and a want. A want is that thing that he thinks he needs. But a need is that thing that he truly, truly needs. For example, Kantai has a want. He wants to provide a very comfortable life for his family.
Mimi niko kazi, kesi baadaye. All I need is a better life for my family. Kwani nyinyi mmekula shida mpaka mkakuwa addicted?
And he knows time is not on his side. He's turning 50, almost retiring, but he really has nothing to show, so he's panicking. So he really, really wants to provide a good life for his family. But deep within, that's not his need. Kantai's need is to be respected. That's his need. So in whatever Kantai does from episode 1 to episode 13, his primary drive is the need for him to be respected. The reason why a stand-up guy like Kantai is selling drugs ni juu ameona watu wanaheshimiwa hapa nje ni watu wako na pesa. Na since ile age amefika mazee, there is no way he can be a millionaire overnight. If this is a shortcut, I'm taking it. That respect is what he wants. So we were building all the characters. Like every character in Untying Kantai has a need and a want. All of them. So when we were writing, hizo ndio vitu tulikuwa tuna chase mpaka mwisho. Number one, Kenyans are extremely religious. Extremely. Sometimes to a fault. Like you can have very learned individuals making the most stupid of mistakes because they are under an umbrella of a certain religion. So we knew for a fact that these themes that we are touching on, more often than not, will rub people the wrong way. So we were very, very prepared for that. But nothing that we put down on those episodes was a lie. Those are things that are happening. Pastors are chewing their flocks left, right, and center. True or false? Pastors and churches are the highest forms of money laundering in this country. And that is why when politicians are trying to sanitize, the first place they go is to churches. Si bure wanapeana hizo mamilioni huko. That's a money laundering machine right there. So hakuna kitu ya uongo tuliandika kwa hiyo show. And we were ready for the backlash, but as long as our point was home, that was everything that we needed. And I think it did its work. Nice. So we've been burying our heads in the sand for the longest time when it comes to matters religion, matters politics, although the political angle wasn't touched sana, but it's coming. And family. Yeah, there's some nonsense that happens in our homes, but we can't question because we think our parents are all-knowing. That's a misconception. That's something that we need to unlearn. Our parents are not all-knowing. Some of our parents are stupid. So this show is opening you up to that reality. We think that churches are everything. Churches are not everything. In fact, the same way you have your flaws, even churches have their flaws. Hey, the same way you can be tempted, even those pastors are tempted. The same way they are human at the end of the day. So ours was just to, bring it out there and just to sensitize people that when you're engaging with these people, be careful. Yeah, be in control. Do not leave everything to these people that you think are demigods. They are not. Surprisingly, man, our writers' rooms are the best, man. We have the best of times there. Do you know, guys go through a lot, and the only thing they look forward to are those writing rooms, because now you have the ability to be free. You have like a small family of people who can listen to you, and you can, it's beautiful. We had the best time in those writing rooms. I think the first one was in Ngong. The second one, I think somewhere in Nakuru or Naivasha. It was beautiful. I can't pinpoint any challenge with that show. I thought we were gonna have a lot of backlash with the client. Surprisingly, for this one, they were like, "It's okay, 29." In fact, we've had rougher times with Maisha Magic than with Showmax, and I was thinking it would be the other way around, because the budgets at Showmax were a bit higher than Maisha Magic, and when someone gives you money, hey man, they own your ass. Yeah, but they were so cool, man. We went for the read-throughs with the clients, and they loved it. They okayed everything, man. It was amazing. Yeah, and I think that you can just tell the people working on this show were happy. You can tell it. Yeah. Just by watching it. You are happy. Yes. To be really honest, they delivered 95%, which is an A+. Yeah. You're lucky if you get an 85 as a writer, because there are things that we think, and when it's interpreted by other people, it takes a totally different direction. And most of the time, the writers are usually like, sikuwa nimefikiria hivi jo, manze hivi shatange niongelesha nimshow vile nilikuwa nimeenvision. But these guys, they were in it. I could see it, man. They were in it. And that 5%, I'm denying them. To be really honest, it's not that it's their fault. Sometimes you have something in mind, but you get on location and it's impractical. And it's out of your control. Yeah. So you can't really blame them. Yeah. So me, I was happy with the 95% I got. 95 is still an A. It's beautiful. So first of all, if the project is not close to our heart, we are not taking it. I'll give you an example. It's a safe space, yeah? Ndio, hakuna mtu atakuja I have no problem with the people that push agendas. But I'd be lying to you if I told you I understand what the LGHDTV community guys are going through. I don't know. And this is not intentional. I do not have a single gay person in my circle. And it's not intentional. I don't know, maybe I just don't attract them. I don't know. So for you to give me a project that is pushing that agenda, I'll be lying to you. So I don't want to do a project just to tick a box. Me, I want to do a project that I feel. That's why most of our shows are very ghetto-centric. The other EP, Philip Karanja, grew up in Kibera, in Dandora. I grew up in Kibera. Our stories will always have that ghetto aspect, that ghetto element, because that is close to our heart. So in everything that we do, first question we ask ourselves is this thing speaking to me as the person who is supposed to execute it? If it's not, I know I will not give you a good product. So why waste your time and money? Yeah. But if it's speaking to me, kabisa, then we are in it. Yeah. And that's why most of our projects are projects that we have conceptualized. I don't think since we started in 2016, we've ever done somebody else's project. Hizo tushaifanya project ya mtu kweli? No. All the shows we've done, they're usually ours. And that's why we are not thriving in the ads world. Sababu huko kwa ads, manze hiyo ni vitu ya watu, manze umekuja umeekewa hapo. Sasa nataka uanze kufikiria kama mtu wa detergents. Yeah, man. Wacha niifanye tu hii side ingine influencing, but the headache that comes with it as just now for Philip Productions, we handle ads differently. Si ya mkurugenzi. Ya mkurugenzi inajibamba pale, but proper ads is a lot of headache. Yeah, I don't think ni kitu tuko desperate sana kufanya. Very nice. And this is an experiment that we did in 2021. So, the way the business world is set up in this country, if your project is not anywhere in ICT, manufacturing, education, and all those things that NGOs support, you are likely not to get funding. We have tried. We have knocked doors since 2018. To date, nobody has gone into their pockets to give us funding. So we discovered, this industry of ours, someone called it a sector, people don't understand it. Yeah, and it's human nature to not invest in something that you don't understand. So we decided our saviors are the people who understand us. Who understands us? The audience. Correct. So we put an appeal out there and we told them, we have done things for you for 5-6 years now. You know our capability. We promise you that we can do more with a little help. All we are asking is for you to assist us with a few of your coins. And this is not charity. No. At the end of the project, we will return your money with interest on top. So this is business. The only thing that we need from you is trust. Trust us to deliver. Oh man, and they trusted. And they funded our first film in 2021. And it went well. And we returned their money. We did the same in 2022. It went well. We returned their money. We are doing it again in 2024. Now, the thing that we noticed along the way is that the pool of investors was growing every year. So now it got to a point, in fact, for 2024, we're rolling out. And the people who were there last year already, from them we have enough money. Mpaka we are thinking, okay, maybe we shouldn't advertise. Yeah, because we already have enough money from the people who contributed last year but one. So it's a growing culture. So that's the thing about Feel It, where culture changes, man. Whenever we see a problem, we find solutions. So now the filmmakers that we will come after, people already know that you can get funding from people, and you don't necessarily have to go knocking doors to people who feel like they're doing you a favor just listening to you. Yeah, so that's how we go about funding our stuff. And it's not going to be about films peke yake. Itafika point, even infrastructure will be built through these people. Imefika point say we need a big studio. A big studio means you construct a whole warehouse. We're looking at what, 30 million there about. Kuna tu wakurugenzi na film ambassadors na CEOs fulani wako hapa nje. watu wa becoming CEO wanaitwa CEOs.
Classmates.
Na classmates fulani hapa nje wako na hiyo do but wanashindwa wafanye nini nayo. Na sisi tunajua fiti tukisimamisha warehouse hapa, that's it, that their money will be coming back in 5 years or less. Yeah, so it's a good time to be alive, man. Yeah, for the first time. And we really, it's not that we got where we wanted, but for the first time we had a budget to operate with. Most of the shows that were before Untying Kantai, man, say, nika tulikuwa tunapewa tu scraps, man. Ay. But for the first time somebody told us, we know it's still not where you want it, but this is far much more than you've been getting. Please give us a show that's worth it. Man, we went. Do you know, and this will come as a surprise, we have been in the business for 8 years now. Untying Kantai was the first show that we had a production designer.
It has been said by everyone who has started that seat.
For real?
Yes.
Man,
Kila mtu.
na unajua guy production designer ako ligi moja na the director. Nakwambia, if you get it wrong from the production design perspective, it will show. How we managed to operate for 8 years without a production designer is beyond me. I don't know. But you see, budgets, mazee, unatoa wapi pesa ya kulipa production designer? But na inanibamba mazee, watu wameanza kuona. When you give Kenyans a good budget, you will get a good show. Untying Kantai, I can tell you now for a fact, without fear or favor, is a show that will transcend time. Hii show hata ukiwatch 2030 Mukami utaielewa na ita make sense, because religion will still be there, drugs will still be there, crime will still be there. Good budget is all we need, man. So while we're on the subject, naweza piga watu kiboko kidogo. The people that came before us walaaniwe. Mtu akiamka asubuhi alambwe na giraffe kwa uso, because those people messed up an entire industry. Believe it or not, the budgets that we are getting now are a fifth of what those guys used to get, but they did not deliver. Most of them ended up with Range Rovers and very big homes and no product. I know of a production company that was commissioned to do 13 or 26 episodes. They only delivered 4. But the execs each owned a Range Rover and houses. So that's the reason why that company shut down. Not the production company, but the company that funded them. It shut down the operations in Kenya because what's that? So they took a hiatus for like a year and a half. They came back again. They trusted another crop of producers and they were still shafted the same way. So this is the third time this company is coming back. And I think we are the longest serving. We've been there since 2016. They haven't shut down because now the crop of producers that are there, okay, some are still, si wote ni weupe kama pamba. But we are not like the generation that was before us. Hawa wasee walikuwa na mchezo, they cost us. Hatungekuwa tuna struggle na hizi budget za ufala. But juu hawa wasee waliharibu, the company ilikambako wakasema no, hawa watu itabidi wafanye kazi na hizi peanuts, na kama wataki, wakwende. Yeah. Oh man, let me tell you, hata tu msee kuingia pale kwa chat aseme you guys have done a wonderful job. It does so much to a creator, man. Oh my God. Do you know the work that goes into producing this thing? Manze, months of sleepless nights. Watu wanakesha huku wakipigwa na baridi kwa set. Wengine mpaka wanakuwa wagonjwa. Then show inaenda, mtu anaandika hapo ini crap gani. They have no idea the process. And that's why I love Mukami what you're doing, because the BTS thing you're doing is showing people the process. Hii kitu si rahisi. So, sisemi usini criticize, ni criticize, lakini ni criticize na upole. Keep in mind, even the crap that I have presented, manze, it came from the heart. Na hakuna mtu wa asubuhi anasema, today I am going to crap. Hakuna mtu wa anaamua hivyo. Find out, ni nini, mbona standard iko hivi? Oh, ni finances. Oh, okay, ni challenges. Okay. Try to offer solutions. That's how you grow an industry. But ukiamka tu asubuhi trash mtu na uendelee na maisha yako, ujui ni nini umefanya. Hauja trash mtu, umetrash more than 60 people wamekuwa wakiamka asubuhi daily for months kuweka hiyo product out there. So the best you can do for them ni just offer positive criticism. Wajenge tu juu kesho hao ndio wataandika mtoi wako kazi. Maze. So mi maze hiyo kuingia tu kwa mtandao na naona tu positivity. Yeah, that's the biggest reward nimepata na show. Funny enough, nashindwa, why am I not seeing negative comments? Hey, unajua pia ni scary? That is scary, man. Like hakuna hata msemo moja tumegwara. So inamaanisha hizi vitu tunaongea ni vitu watu wamekuwa wakizifikiria lakini hawataki kusema. Ai, hapana guys, tuongeeni jo. Tuongeeni.
Lakini huwezi kosa kamoja.
Kuna tu mtu fulani.
Mtu fulani ataamka amwe na teremka na nyinyi.
Hizo vitu za ngono nilikuwa najua kuna watu wataongelea.
Hata tunaulizana kwani watu hawajaziona? Cause ya clickbang
ilileta shida sana.
Pale kwa interview ya Philip we had to ask him the essence of sex.
Yeah.
Scenes cause yeye
ndio director. Lakini Mukami, let me ask you. You watch a movie and you run to the internet very fast to say that you're disgusted by the fact that a husband is making out with his wife on screen. But you do not mention even once the fact that a girl has had her head blown off in the same movie. So for you, we'd rather blow each other's heads, yes, lakini tusikisiane. So hivyo ndio umeamua. Jumi sikuwa naelewa hii kitu. In fact nilikuwa naona jamaa wa Plug TV. Na mtu wangu wa Plug TV itabidi pia yeye tumsalimie sababu he's negative. Anatutafuta sana Naona ana interview Ras anamkwaza na yule Ras wa mother-in-law. Anamuuliza pati historia ya ku make out nini. Nashindwa wewe shida yako ni wife na haziwa na make out. Aida kushutiwa kichwa haikusumbui. Hapo huoni kuna mismatch? Watu wache mchezo bana.
Hao ni watu wa agenda.
Hizi vitu zina happen bana. People are screwing left, right and center. The beauty about hii kitu ni we left it with so many possibilities and none of us knows where the story goes.
Do you know where the story goes?
I have no idea. Although from hapo kwa episode 13 we are leading people to something. But it ends there. Ukiniuliza ni nini iko hapa after hii, wakiona episode 13 wataona vile imeisha. So wanajua the next trajectory mali tunaenda. Lakini I don't know what devils we are going to get tukienda hiyo direction. Mti yangu mtapenda hii raundi. So now we are working on our third film, and our third feature excites me. Because first of all, it's an issue that has been discussed severally. This story was picked from one of the stories I did sometime in 2022. Sitaki kusema ni gani sababu nimeekelea do. Nimeambia wase wa guess story niwapatie do na hawajawahi weza guess mpaka leo. So I can't wait to see how that conversation will play out after the thing premieres. Nataka tu kuona direction ya conversation itakuwaje. I am super excited for this project. Inanipatia kiwewe juu ndio hii September inaingia na hatujaanza shoot. Na already niliropokwa huko nikasema December tunayo hatuna. But watu wa feel it mazeni magicians. Somehow they make things work. Yeah. It's not as technical as akina click bang. So in terms of production time, I think we can hack it. But we need to know how to pull the strings, the heartstrings. It's a very emotional piece. If we miss it hapo, itakuwa blanda. Lakini we have an able team. Najua wata execute vile inaweza. I usually like keeping it open until the very end. People have ideas. Even now, this is the first time before read-through we have a complete script. But from the read-through, utanotice tu kutaanza kukuwa na two ideas. Na some of those ideas will be really good. And I'll be tempted to go back and weave them into the ending. Ndio kwa maana muaga nasema badala ya kushinda nikifuta nikinini, wacha niwache open, nione tu after kila mtu amesoma nini, ni get feedback, then I close it. But for this one, I think we have a pretty good ending. Nice. My favorite scene is not actually a scene, it's a sequence. From when MRI is having the last dialogue with Angela. Then whatever happens. Then Angela walks into the church and she gets onto the pulpit and does the thing like this. And the camera does the thing and you see a blood spot somewhere. Then we cut to the prison. I think niliriwindio kitu maraka 15. Deadly. Yeah. Kama mazee audience walikuwa nasikia vile mimi nilikuwa nasikia. That was a good ending. It was a good ending and it leaves us with very many possibilities. Isho inaweza endelea sana. So Untying Kantai in 10 words. Untying Kantai is a true depiction of what happens in our society. So the name change, it affected us, the crew, the people who are behind the product. The people who are watching have, in fact, for them Untying Kantai makes so much sense. Yani hata unajaribu kuambia High Priest ndio ilikuwa title, wanashindwa. Why High Priest? It's Untying Kantai. This guy has been tied up for 13 episodes. So for us, it did a thing, but for people, they don't care. They don't care about the title. In fact, it's a conversation we were having with Philip, because the movie that we are doing now, I was getting a bit of feedback from a focus group I had. Now walikuwa nasema the title is not befitting. And I kind of felt it. Nikaona yenyewe, anyone who's not a mkurugenzi will not relate with the title. So nikakam nikachapia kikosi. I think hata wewe uko kwa group hapo, nikasema hey, title kidogo inasumbua. But leo Philip akakama kaniambia, let me tell you the power that you have that you don't know. Hata ukiamka kesho useme movie inaitwa Mkate, itaenda. So wewe usijali. Hiyo title vile iko hivyo, kaende sana. In fact, inaweza hata kuwa ina title na itaenda tu. Yeah, so isitusumbue. Yeah. Different. So there's a mistake that happened when we were delivering. I think I could be wrong, but this is what I think happened. We delivered I could call it like a first draft to Showmax. They were supposed to watch it, give us any feedback, then we would re-export it again now with everything that's needed. I don't think that's what happened. I think that the first drafts that we gave them, they uploaded those in the system. So there are things that ziko katikati ya show. Manze, kuna area fulani graphics haikuwa, naweza tell manze, yani hii show ilikuwa inafaa uploadiwe. So I'd ask for a re-upload. Number 2, credits because it's not the final thing. Tunakupatia tu kitu uangalie, uturudishie, tukupatie the final export. So hata we've not even worked on the credits. So ukiwatch Untying Kantai zote, mimi ndio writer, which is not the case. Kuna episodes Kenji aliandika, Masi aliandika. Ili niuma kiasi wasewa kukreditiwa, but I think we're in talks with them watatupatia to re-upload tena. That's one. Then number 2, and I am not faulting them, our main characters were so strong that if a supporting character was not at par, they were sticking out like a sore thumb. Some of our support cast waliumia jo. Nilikuwa na watch hivi, yani naifeel kabisa, huyu ana struggle. Huyu ana struggle. So I don't know, I guess maybe pale kwa casting tukijua yenyewe tunaenda na mababa, even the people who are coming in to play the support roles wanafaa kukuwa tayari. Yeah, so those are the two things na feel naweza badilisha.